Hi everyone, I'm Pragya and I'm back with a new story from the series of Frog and the Wide World, written by Maxwell Twitz. Rat stood on the top of a hill and looked out towards the horizon. The world is quite beautiful, he sighed, and at once he felt restless. It is time for me to go on my travels. Early the next morning, he filled his rucksack with things he might need and provisions to last him the journey. Then he started on his way, eager for adventure. He had not gone far when he heard a shout. Wait for me! He looked round and saw Frog hurrying towards him. Rat, said Frog, where are you going? Out into the wide world, said Rat, to seek adventure. May I come with you? Asked Frog in great excitement. Absolutely not, exclaimed Rat. You are far too small for such a long journey. Oh, please, Rat. I'm small, but I'm strong. I'll carry things, and two is more fun than one. Come on, then, said Rat, but don't fall behind. So together the two friends went out into the wide world. Frog carried the rucksack and Rat led the way. This is pretty, said Frog after a while. It's different from home. He had never been so far afield before. After they had walked a little further, Frog sat down. I am hungry, he said. When can we have lunch? What? Exclaimed Rat. We have only just started our journey. All the same, he took two peanut butter sandwiches from the rucksack. He was ready for a bite to eat himself. It's only a snack, mind, he said sternly. We still have a long way to go. When they had finished, they set out once more. Are we nearly there? Asked Frog. Where? Replied Rat. The wide world, said Frog. How can we be? Said Rat impatiently. We have hardly left home. When they stopped walking, the sun had almost set. Frog collapsed on the ground. I am tired. I can't walk any further, he moaned. When are we going home? Home? Rat was astonished. None of that. This is where we are going to spend the night. Rat chose a comfy spot and they both lay down to rest. Rat, said Frog after a little while, I can't sleep. Close your eyes and think of your favorite things, said Rat. Frog tried, but it didn't work. He could hear strange noises. It was probably lions or tigers. When morning came, Frog didn't want to get up. But Rat was firm, and off they set up hill and down dale into the wide world. Are we nearly there now? Panted Frog. Not nearly, said Rat. If you want to see anything of the wide world, you have to be persevere. Suddenly the sky grew dark. The sun disappeared behind the clouds and it began to rain. Softly at first, but then harder and harder. The two friends rushed for shelter. They were dry, but Frog was cold. I wonder how things are at home, he said wistfully. I wonder how Pig is, and Duck, and Hare. The rain has stopped, said Rat. Come on. They walked and walked until they came to some wild deserted mountains. Up they clambered over rocks and stones. Look at this! Isn't this fantastic? Called Rat. But Frog had fallen head over heels and couldn't see anything. I think my foot is broken, wept Frog as he stumbled on. It hurts so much I can hardly walk. This will get us nowhere, grumbled Rat. From now on, I will carry you. He lifted Frog onto his back and marched on. Perhaps Pig is baking a cake, said Frog. And I wonder what Duck and Hare are doing. We always have so much fun together at home. You have the rest of your life to sit around at home, said Rat. Right now, we are on our way to foreign lands. Look around you. See how beautiful it is. And everywhere is the unknown. When at last they reached a grassy plain, Rat put Frog down. I am exhausted, he said. We shall sleep here. Here? Asked Frog, dismayed. At home, I have the best little bed in all the world. But Frog was tired too, and he soon fell fast asleep. But when they awoke the following morning, Frog just sat there in a miserable heap. Rat, I'm not well. I feel so ill. I don't want to go to the wide world. I miss home so much. You are just too small for a trip around the world, said Rat. You are not ill. You are homesick. Homesick? Frog jumped up in alarm. Is that very bad? Not very, said Rat. You will be better once you are home. Home? Murmured Frog dreamingly. That's it, said Rat. We are going back. Frog didn't need to be carried any longer. He bounded on ahead, back to Pig and Duck and Hare. Rat had to laugh. Do you mind going back? Asked Frog. No, said Rat. I was also missing home a bit. That's how it should be. At last, after hours of walking, Frog gave a shout. Look, we are nearly there. And sure enough, in the distance, they saw Pig and Duck and Hare waiting for them. Frog flew towards his friends as if he had wings. Welcome home, called Hare. How was your trip? Fantastic, sang Frog. The wide world is so beautiful, and we have had such adventures. There were lions and tigers and come inside at once, said Pig, and tell us all about it. I have just baked a cake and you must be hungry. That was just what Frog wanted to hear. They sat around the table eating Pig's delicious cake while Frog described the terrible storm and how brave they had been. The mountains they had climbed and the sights they had seen, but there is still no place like home, said Frog. And he thought happily to himself of his own nice, warm little bed. This was the story. Hope you enjoyed it. Please follow my page and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.